If your neighbor just paid $30,000 for brand new impact windows and you're wondering if they got completely ripped off, or if you're about to, stay with me for the next 3 minutes. Miami is a completely unique conversation. Homeowners in places like Orlando or Tampa, they may ask, are impact windows worth the money? But Miami homeowners have to ask a much harder question. Can I afford not to have them? When your home sits inside a high velocity hurricane zone, that question is going to hit completely differently. This zone is not just a clever marketing term, it's a strict Florida Building Code designation that makes our local standards tougher than almost anywhere else in the entire country. Your windows don't just have to survive strong winds, they have to pass engineering tests that most of the country never has to face. So what do they actually cost? Right now, most Miami homeowners are looking somewhere between $12,000 and $45,000, and obviously much higher than that. The final price heavily depends on the size of your home, the total window count, the total door count, the size of your openings, and the frame material that you choose. That is a wide range, and any contractor advertisement that gives you a hard number before physically measuring your openings is completely guessing. So let's look at aluminum versus vinyl, and we have a very strong take on this. So a lot of window companies are pushing vinyl hard, and it's mostly for energy efficiency. And the question that I pose is, what percentage of the surface area of the entire window does the frame makeup consist of? Your frame is going to be typically less than 10% of the total surface area of that window or door. Your largest piece of most windows and doors are the glass itself. So if you're not taking time to insulate the glass, are you really getting the best benefit out of potentially going to vinyl if you're not even going to insulated glass in the first place? Also, insulated glass, adding low E, and then if you really want to go overboard, I would still stick to aluminum and I would do a thermally broken frame. The problem I have with vinyl is that it is not tried and tested here in the South Florida heat under the South Florida conditions for a very long period of time, also being tested multiple times against hurricanes. Aluminum has been tried, true, tested, and I replace aluminum that's been around for 80 years in some cases or more. At least for the time being, I am not personally sold on vinyl. We can sell it, we can install it. However, I am still a firm believer in aluminum for the time being. That is my take. And once again, I think it comes down to going after the piece of the product that has the greatest surface area where it's gonna face the greatest heat gain or solar gain coming into the home. So once again, we strictly recommend heavy duty aluminum for South Florida homes. Aluminum is going to handle extreme heat expansion, the salt air, and the local wind loads significantly better over the long haul. It's going to cost about the same up front. Vinyl can actually be a little bit more expensive, but it holds up over time, and we have proof behind that. Now, when it comes to insurance discounts, that's a real thing, but be careful because some companies will tell you that you'll save anywhere from 15 to 40% from what I've seen on your homeowner's insurance policy, but that's only in the case that you don't currently have impact protection on all of the openings. And here's what a lot of companies in the window and door industry will never say out loud. The specific license your contractor holds determines how much of your project they can actually touch themselves. So a glass and glazing license means that they are only allowed to work on the glass and glazing, the windows and doors on your home. And what a lot of companies won't tell you is that they only install windows and doors. Now, if they run into a problem where you have a structural issue around the windows and doors, they do not have the skills, the licensure, the ability, know the process, or want to touch the process of doing that repair. So what do? They put a piece of plywood over your window or door, and they tell you to go find a contractor. You have to go off on your own and try to find a contractor, which if you ever tried before, and especially for a very small job, that can be extremely tough. Bigfoot Windows and Roofing, if we run into a structural issue on any window or door, we know exactly what to do. We know who to call. We have the crew ready. We are licensed, experienced, and ready to handle these situations at any time. And actually, it happens to be one of my favorite things is doing structural modifications, structural repairs. It's something I love doing. And what I always say is understand the risks and make sure you have a backup plan and you're working with a company that is equipped to handle these situations so you can get through the project quicker and have peace of mind. Biggest thing is you are installing impact windows to protect your home and your family in the event of a hurricane. Now, if that impact window is not properly secured to the substrate that it is attached to, you have a riot shield that can blow in during the storm. You do not have impact windows. Impact windows are tested under certain conditions And our NOAs, or a notice of acceptance, basically tells us these are the conditions that the window has to be installed under. And if it is installed under these conditions, it is rated to perform XYZ, and it is tested to perform under these conditions. If it is not installed per code, per the NOAs, what do you have at the end of the day? And the worst thing would be being inside of your home during a storm, thinking about, man, should I really have gone forward with that other company? Should I have saved that money to where I can be inside of my home and have the peace of mind during a storm that my family should be safe? So once again, a very important conversation to have with any window and door company that you're considering is, what licenses do they carry? Do they only install windows and doors? And what happens in the event that they find a structural issue to where they cannot install a window or a door? Do they have a plan? What is it? What are they licensed to do? What are they comfortable with doing? And I'll let you as a homeowner make the best decision for your home. Bigfoot Windows and Roofing, building trust, one window, one door, one roof at a time.